Bro, if you're gonna do fitness related content, you're not gonna show off your assets, then what's even the point? Hey, what's up y'all, Vincent here. So this is part 1 of a 4-part series on how I went from lad to Chad. So I highlighted 4 stages of my self-improvement for the acronym FACE, and this is the first stage. F is for fitness, baby! So when I first started my fitness journey, I was mainly fueled by curiosity, so it wasn't scary at all for me to just jump right into things. But if you're watching this video, chances are you have some type of emotional or mental barrier keeping you from starting your own fitness journey. So today, I'm going to simplify the whole beginner's process of starting a fitness regimen. I'm coming at this with the perspective that if I went back in time and met my skinny younger self, this would be the information that I would give him in order to accelerate his process from the get-go. I find this is a much better approach than just, ooh, go in there and just lift, bro. So here are my 5 main points in starting a proper fitness regimen. So first, I'd like to give a quick top-down overview in how our bodies form their shapes. So our bodies are composed of water, fat, bone, and muscle, and it requires energy in the form of calories to operate. For the most part, our body's innate ability to change shape is determined by genetics, but through dietary and physical choices, we can play a huge role in that as well. At any given weight, our body requires a certain number of calories to remain at that point. You gain weight if you consume more, and you lose weight if you consume less. Without physical training, most weight gain will be fat, but by adding resistance training, we can influence our body to build muscle instead. I know that the main point of this video is to get people to start working out, but I think it's crucial to understand where your body is right now and then what you need to do to get it to where you want it to be. Like if you're skinny and you want to get bigger, well, now you have to go into a caloric surplus. And if you're a little bit bigger and you want to slim down, well, now you have to go into a caloric deficit. I want to get more in depth with dieting strategies in its own video, but just to give you a quick start, you can use the calorie calculator in the link below. Use that calculator to get an idea of where your maintenance calories are and also an idea of where you need to be in a surplus or a deficit. You want to adjust the number of calories you consume based on your comfort level. So based on whether you want to be in a surplus or a deficit, I'd probably start with plus or minus 200 and work up to plus or minus 500. As you progress up or down, you're gonna have to recalculate your maintenance calories probably around every 5 pounds or so. But for now, just don't think too much about what you need to do and just use these guidelines to get an idea of what you need to do now with your diet. So now, we're gonna start getting to the lifting stuff. The second point is to not worry about the finer details. As a beginner, your priority is just literally getting to the gym and start training your body. You don't need to worry about having perfect clothes, equipment, knowledge, or form. Just wear something that's comfortable with you and doesn't restrict your mobility. You don't need to know what each muscle is or what a compound or accessory movement is, but you should be paying attention to get an idea of what movements train what muscles. As for lifting form, listen here. You're not going to have good form, and that's okay. All you really need to do is be able to perform movements without doing anything that will get you injured. That means we're going to start off pretty easy with the weights and the movements, and we're going to gradually work our way up. If I were to assign my beginner self a routine, it would be either what's called a 5-day bro split or a 3-day pull push legs routine. The reason why is because this allows him to gradually work out his entire body while figuring out what movements work what body parts, while also allowing ample time for rest and recovery. The key to starting a successful routine is making it enjoyable and easy. So by adding a variety of movements, he'll be motivated to try them out and see what he likes. For sets and reps, I would simply do 3 sets of 10 on everything. 10 reps is a good middle ground as it's not too short, but not too long per set. And by picking a slightly challenging weight for that number of reps, each set should challenge you a little bit without being a snooze fest. 3 sets of 10 allows ample workload without dragging out the workout for hours on end. Also, when you do such light weight, you shouldn't be really getting fatigued, and this can help offset DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness the very next day. Again, when it comes to form, don't worry too much about it. What you should do is at least give yourself some instruction through some source such as like an image or a video just to give yourself an idea of how to do the movement. And then when you go to the gym, just attempt it with a light weight for 10 reps. So I am literally going to list the routines and their exercises in the description below, and you can just take them and follow them. Point number 3 is understanding that there's different variations for every movement and there's different equipment that can assist with that. So if you look at the routine, you'll see that I assigned some bodyweight movements such as dips, pull-ups, and push-ups. As a beginner, you're probably thinking, what the heck? I can't do this stuff. Are you pulling a Chris Heria on me? You know, the guy from FedEx who has handstand push-ups as the first movement in a beginner routine. Anyways, the point is that even if you can't do those movements, there are things that you can do to work yourself up to that point. There's modalities such as machines and dumbbells that allow you to work the same muscles without the use of your body weight. There's also machines that allow you to do the movement with weighted assistance. And for some body weight movements, you can simply revert to a simpler variation until you can progress to the next one. Also, barbell movements are on the list, but if you're not strong enough to use them yet, you can revert back down to dumbbells or machines. No matter what your starting strength is, there is always a way for you to make progress towards any movement. If you can't do a movement, find a suitable substitute. You don't have to skip it entirely. Point number 4 is to work your regimen into your life, not have you work around it. A good fitness regimen should complement your regular lifestyle while gradually improving your habits. So you should be doing the basics such as having a good sleeping schedule, planning when and what to eat for your meals, and having mandatory activities such as work or school all scheduled out. Then you simply fit in your workout when you have time for it. Some people like to wake up early and take care of it before they start their day, and some people like to go right after school or work. Whatever you decide, try to make it a time that you can be consistent with so that you can maintain that level of productivity over the long term. Point number 5 is to gradually immerse yourself into fitness. From the beginning, you don't have the experience to know what to do or how it's going to feel, so it's important to make it as easy as possible for you to start. As you spend more time incorporating these points into your life, you'll become much more comfortable with doing them, and you can gradually immerse yourself even more. That means that as you're doing these workouts, you should notice a gradual increase in strength so that the next time you run the same workout, you should be increasing the numbers in order to keep the same level of challenge. Everything that I'm saying in this video is meant to just help get you started and have something for you to do within your first month or so. But once you've reached that point, you're probably gonna wanna expand a little bit more and develop more specific routines for the goals that you really want. So to summarize how I would use these points to educate my skinny younger self, point 1 would be to educate him on body composition. As a skinny boy, the priority right now is packing on some size by building muscle. So diet-wise, that means eating a whole lot more, making sure to get ample protein, and committing to doing resistance training. And make sure to consume 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight on you every day to maximize muscle gain. And another key thing I would have him start doing is drinking as much water as he can. Point 2 is to not worry about the finer details and just get right into it. I'm literally giving him a routine that tells him exactly what to do when he goes to the gym. He'll have to do a little bit of homework on how to perform the movements, but once he has that, he can just get into the gym, pick up some weight that will challenge him a little bit, and just start lifting it. Point 3 is to understand that there's variations in equipment for every movement. As a youth, I was already pretty active and mobile, so I don't really have an issue with performing most of the movements in my routine. However, I'm pretty sure that I couldn't do 3 sets of dips or pull-ups, so I'll have to either use weighted assistance or do similar movements such as seated tricep presses or lat pull downs to work the same muscles until I can get to the point where I can do it with my body weight. I'm also giving him the assurance that at any time, he can substitute a movement with a similar one from a different modality. Point 4 is to work this regimen into his life. It's not about changing his life entirely to fit it in, but rather adjusting the things that he's doing within it. He'll still be eating 3 meals a day, but now there's definitely going to be a lot more food and meat involved. So more rice, more chicken breasts. And instead of finishing his classes and heading back to his dorm to play League of Legends, he'll be spending that time hitting the gym before he hits the Rift. Point 5 is to gradually immerse into fitness. As the boy starts doing his workouts, he'll know where his strength stands with each movement, and he can gradually improve upon it as he gets stronger. He'll want to find out more on how to perfect his form, how to optimize his diet, and how to start getting into gym fits. This isn't happening on day 1. It's happening as he goes further along his journey and starts to figure out what he really wants to do with his body and his goals. So that's it for this video. While there's so much more that I'd like to cover regarding fitness, I think it's better that I give each individual topic its own comprehensive look rather than cram it all into a single video. Y'all don't even have the attention span for that anyways. In the next video, I'll be covering the basics of aesthetics and how to develop your own sense of style. As always, if you enjoyed this content, give it a like, leave a comment if you have something to say, and subscribe if you want to be in the loop for any future content that I make. So that's it for this video. I'm out. Bye-bye.